Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Haripriye Vansakalpa Tarubhyasya Kripa Sindhu Vyayevacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Cheva Narotamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudiraye. Before reciting the Srimad Bhagavatam, which is our very means of conquest, let us first offer respectful obeisances unto Narayana, Supreme Personality of Godhead, unto Narayan Rishi, the supermost human being, unto Mother Saraswati, the goddess of learning, and unto Srila Vyasadeva, the author. Nasta Prayesha Badreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Utamashloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naistiki. By regularly hearing the Srimad Bhagavatam and by rendering a service unto the pure devotee, all that is troublesome within the heart becomes destroyed or practically to nil, and loving devotional service unto the Supreme Lord, who is praised with transcendental songs, becomes established as an irrevocable fact. Idam Bhagavatam Nama Puranam Brahma Samhitam Uttama Shloka Charitam Chakara Bhagavan Rishi Nisreyasaya Lokasya Dhanyam Swasayanam Mahad. The Srimad Bhagavatam, known as the Grantaraj, the king of all Vedic literatures, is the literary incarnation of God. It is compiled by the incarnation of God, the Srila Vyasadeva. It is meant for the ultimate good of all people. It is all successful, all blissful, and all perfect. Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhara Shiva Sadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Asrabhyaya Namaha. Om Asrabhyaya Namaha. Om Asrabhyaya Namaha. Mukham karoti batalam pagom lagayate girim yad kripat maham bande Sri Gurum Dinataranam. Yad kripat maham bande Sri Gurum Dinataranam. Hare Krishna. So we are reading Canto number 1, Chapter 3. Text 1, beginning. This chapter is entitled, 131. Sutta Uvacha Jagrihe Purusham Rupam Bhagavan Mahad Adibihi Sambhutam Sodasha Kalam Adau Loka Shishrikshaya. Sutta Uvacha Jagrihe Paurusham Rupam Bhagavan Mahad Adibihi Sambhutam Sodasha Kalam Adao Loka Shishrikshaya. Sutta Uvacha Jagrihe Paurusham Rupam Bhagavan Mahad Adibihi Sambhutam Sodasha Kalam Adao Loka Shishrikshaya. Sutta Uvacha Jagrihe Paurusham Rupam Bhagavan Mahad Adibihi Sambhutam Sodasha Kalam Adao Loka Shishrikshaya. Sutta Uvacha Jagrihe Paurusham Rupam Bhagavan Mahadadibihi Sambhutam Sodasha Kalam Adao Loka Shishrikshaya. Sutta Uvacha Jagrihe Paurusham Lokam Bhagavan Mahadadibihi Sambhuta Sadasha Kalam Adao Loka Shishrikshaya. Sutta Uvacha Jagrihe Paurusham Rupam Bhagavan Mahadadibihi Sambhutam Sodasha Kalam Adao Loka Shishrikshaya. Sutta Uvacha Sutta said Jagrihe accepted Paurusham plenary portion as the purusha incarnations. Rupam form. Bhagavan the personality of Godhead. Mahad Adibihi with the ingredients of the material world. Sambhutam thus there was the creation of Sodasha Kalam 16 primary principles. Adao in the beginning. Loka the universes. Shishrikshaya on the intention of creating. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki. Sutta said, in the beginning of the creation, the Lord first expanded Himself in the universal form of the purusha incarnation and manifested all the ingredients for the material creation. And thus, at first, there was the creation of the 16 principles of material action. This was for the purpose of creating the material universes. Kindly repeat after me. Sutta said, In the beginning of the creation,
In the beginning of the creation,
the Lord first expanded himself
the Lord first expanded himself
in the universal form
in the universal form
of the Purusha incarnation
of the Purusha incarnation,
and manifested all the ingredients
manifestation of ingredients
for the material creation.
for the material creation.
And thus, at first,
That the first
there was the creation
there was creation
of the 16 principles
of the 16 principles
of material action.
of material action.
This was for the purpose
This was the purpose
of creating the material universes.
of the creative material universe.
Purport. The Bhagavad Gita states that the personality of Godhead, Sri Krishna, maintains these material universes by extending his plenary expansions. So this Purusha form is the confirmation of the same principle. The original personality of Godhead, Vasudeva, or Lord Krishna, who is famous as the son of King Vasudeva or King Nanda, is full with all opulences, all potencies, all fames, all beauties, all knowledge, and all renunciation. Part of his opulences are manifested as impersonal Brahman, and part of his opulences are manifested as Paramatma. This Purusha feature of the same personality of Godhead, Sri Krishna, is the original Paramatma manifestation of the Lord. There are three Purusha features in the material creation, and this form, who is known as the Karanadaksha Vishnu, is the first of the three. The others are known as the Garbhodakshayi Vishnu and the Kshirodakshayi Vishnu, which we shall know one after another. The innumerable universes are generated from the skin holes of this Karanadakshayi Vishnu, and in each one of the universes the Lord enters as Garbhodakshayi Vishnu. In the Bhagavad Gita, it is also mentioned that the material world is created at certain intervals and then again destroyed. This creation and destruction is done by the supreme will because of the conditioned souls, or the Nityabadha living beings. The Nityabadha, or the eternally conditioned souls, have the sense of individuality, or ahankara, which dictates them a sense enjoyment, which they are unable to have constitutionally. The Lord is the only enjoyer, and all others are enjoyed. The living beings are predominated enjoyers. But the eternally conditioned souls, forgetful of this constitutional position, have strong aspirations to enjoy. The chance to enjoy matter is given to the conditioned souls in the material world, and side by side they are given the chance to understand their real constitutional position. Those fortunate living entities who cast the truth and surrender unto the lotus feet of Vasudeva after many, many births in the material world, join the eternally liberated souls, and thus are allowed to enter into the kingdom of Godhead. After this, such fortunate living entities need not come again within the occasional material creation. But those who cannot catch the constitutional truth are again merged into the Mahatattva at the time of the annihilation of the material creation. When the creation is again set up, this Mahatattva is again let loose. This Mahatattva contains all the ingredients of the material manifestations, including the conditioned souls. Primarily, this Mahatattva is divided into 16 parts, namely the 5 gross material elements and the 11 working senses, the 11 working instruments or senses. It is like the cloud in the clear sky. In the spiritual sky, the effulgence of Brahman is spread all around, and the whole system is dazzling in spiritual light. The Mahatattva is assembled in some corner of the vast, unlimited spiritual sky, and the part which is thus converted, or covered rather, and the part which is thus covered by the Mahatattva is called the material sky. This part of the spiritual sky, called the Mahatattva, is only an insignificant portion of the whole spiritual sky. And within this Mahatattva, there are innumerable universes. All these universes are collectively produced by the Karandakshay Vishnu, called also the Mahavishnu, who simply throws his glance to impregnate the material sky. Translation again. The sutta said, in the beginning of the creation, the Lord first expanded himself in the universal form of the purusha incarnation and expanded all the ingredients for the material creation. And thus, at first, there was the creation of the 16 principles of material action. This was for the purpose of creating the material universes. Srimad Bhagavatam is giving us very samadhi. Srimad Bhagavatam is giving us very elaborate, detailed information, which is not so easy for us to understand, regarding the creation of this material world. The special feature of this knowledge that we get from the Bhagavatam is that this comes from special feature of the Bhagavatam is that our story doesn't change. The science or scientists have different theories about the creation, and their theories keep on changing as they seemingly discover different things. So this is an important aspect of the Vedic literatures, that we are simultaneously provided with spiritual knowledge and material knowledge. We need material knowledge also because we are here in the material world. So this is explaining about how the material energy, and there are many energies, three main energies that are described in the Shastra. They are called Bahiranga Shakti. Shakti means energy. Bahiranga Shakti, external energy. This is what is being referred to here. Then the Antaranga Shakti, internal energy, which is the spiritual world, and the Tatasta Shakti, the marginal, it's called marginal energy. So there's reference here to the marginal energy. Marginal energy, the jiva. This is part of tattva. Someone yesterday was making the point that actually, which is a valid point, before we study the different branches of Vedic knowledge, what is called Vedangas. These are subject matters in Gurukul. There are 14 books of knowledge, Veda, Vedanga, altogether actually 14 plus another 4. So the point being that before we study details of different sciences that are there, one must first have some basic or preliminary understanding of especially what is called tattva. So there's reference here to tattva, the jiva. This is what are the 10 tattvas explained by Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur as one small book called Dasamula Tattva. What is the first of the Dasamula Tattvas? The first.
I don't remember. I read it.
Yeah, right. Well, it will help to also understand what is the first. If we also take another Acharya, Srila Jiva Goswami. Srila Jiva Goswami, yes, but even before Sambandha, Srila Jiva Goswami, he has his Sat Sandarbhas, isn't it? His 6 Sandarbhas, and the first of the 6 Sandarbhas is called Tattva Sandarbha. Tattva Sandarbha. Then he begins with Sambandha. There is Tattva Sandarbha, which is the first of the 10 Dasamula Tattvas described by Bhaktivinoda Thakur. So that first of the 10 is the first tattva, which Srila Jiva Goswami, his book is Tattva Sandarbha, is establishing that Vedic knowledge is the source of all knowledge. The origin and perfection of all knowledge is from Veda. Because just like we are reading now about the purusha incarnation, no one can imagine. This is knowledge that is revealed. This is knowledge that at the beginning of every creation. So what is amazing actually in our line, my God, the sky is blue after all. Having Krishna's blue, yeah. Starting to have darshan of blue sky. Some hope is there. Very amazing point being made actually in the Tatvas Sandarbha of Srila Jiva Goswami. And he explains that, yes, Veda is the original knowledge. When, at the beginning of the creation, whenever there is creation, the knowledge, as we know, is revealed to Lord Brahma after he meditates for a long time. And he is given Vedic knowledge, the four Vedas. But in the Tattva Sandarbha of Srila Jiva Goswami, he explains that actually in Kali Yuga, we cannot understand the Vedas. We cannot read the Vedas because the Vedas are given in a very special, very high level Sanskrit, which is, for the majority of people in Kali Yuga, not possible to learn. So therefore, he establishes, Srila Jiva Goswami, that in addition to the Vedas, at the beginning of the creation, Lord Krishna, who is revealing this knowledge to Lord Brahma, he also reveals to Lord Brahma what is called supplementary knowledge, part of which is the Puranas. And of course, the Srimad Bhagavatam is one of those Puranas, and it happens to be the topmost Purana, Bhagavat Purana. Therefore, it is described as the Grantaraj. So it means that actually for us in Kali Yuga, the source of our knowledge and the topmost knowledge is that which has been given to us by Srila Vyasadeva at the beginning of Kali Yuga in the form of the Srimad Bhagavatam. So the point being that we must, before we study different aspects of Vedic knowledge, different sciences, just like last few days, one devotee was sharing some special course on Dhanurveda. What is Dhanurveda? Oops. Sorry. Dhanurveda. Yeah. Very big science. Arjuna is the most expert archer in the science. So that's also nicely explained in the Bhagavatam, in that section where Krishna is sent to Gurukula. Where does Krishna go to Gurukula? In Sandipani Gurukula, Ujjain, near Ujjain.
Because Srimati Radharani knew much better, and he wanted to get that level of knowledge, and he goes back then he can
What is that?
chant Srimati Radharani, and this great knowledge which he learned. Vrindavan, he was always in shame because Srimati Radhan was always better in every art. So he wanted to improve his art.
He wanted to improve, yes. Of course, he already has, but yeah, some lila. Krishna does not need to go to Gurukul, but to show us example, he does. Yeah. So, so this means that actually there's here it mentions about nitya, nitya bada. That's also described in the Dasamula Tattva. That's part of the Tattvas. What are the four Tattvas of the Jiva? The Jiva, the soul. We are the Jiva. So Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur describes, this is like preliminary knowledge that is given actually in the Bhagavad Gita also. The first is, the Jiva is, this is all connected, this is all in relation to Sambandha. Yeah. We must know who we are, and we cannot know who we are unless we also know who Krishna is. Sambandha. Krishna has, there are three features of Godhead, three tattvas, and there are four tattvas for the jiva. So 3 plus 4, 7. 7 out of 10 of the tattvas deal with sambandha again. Then after that, Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur explains about abhideya again and prayojan again. So here in the verse it mentions about some aspect of Krishna Tattva and Jiva Tattva. So purusha is expansion, incarnation. There are 6 types of incarnations that are described in the Bhagavatam. This is one of them, purusha incarnation. 3 purushas. We are dealing here with the first of the 3 purushas, Mahavishnu, Karanadakshay Vishnu. And it is from this Karanadakshay Vishnu, who's an expansion of Krishna, that the 16 material elements are manifest. And here it mentions how this Mahavishnu, who lies on which ocean? Karana ocean. That's why he's called Karana Vishnu. Yes, causal ocean. Where is the causal ocean? The causal ocean. What's another name of the causal ocean? Viraj. This causal ocean, this separates the spiritual world from the material world. So from that position, he glances over this Mahatattva. All the living entities actually enter that Mahatattva. And here it mentions about, it's very elaborate actually, the 16 material elements. So the jiva, this is dealing with one kind of jiva. Nitya. It is the Nityabada, eternally conditioned souls that are that are put into the Mahatattva. All of us in the material world, conditioned souls. But then Bhaktivinoda Thakur explains how the jiva can be either nitya baddha or nitya mukta. Yeah. So these are the four tattvas for the jiva. The first one is mentioned actually in the Bhagavad Gita. Angsha, mamai vangsho jiva loki. The jiva is eternally part and parcel, never becomes independent. Part and parcel and always dependent. So therefore the jiva is also prakriti. Isn't it? The jiva is para prakriti, whereas material nature, which is inert, is apara prakriti. Para prakriti, apara prakriti. So these are this is the beginning explanation of how the material creation takes place, and this chapter establishes Krishna as being the source of all the different avatars, beginning with the Purusha avatar. This is different understanding. Our Gaudiya Vaishnava tradition has different understanding, gives a different understanding of Vishnu and Krishna. So these are the subject matters. These are some of the subject matters that are studied in detail when one goes to Gurukul or Varnashram college. So these chapters, first chapter, second chapter, very important. So I mentioned only, what are the four tattvas for the jiva? Amsha, Nitya Baddha, Nitya Mukta, and Veda Abeda. Living entity is Veda Abeda, simultaneously one with Krishna and simultaneously different. One in quality and different in quantity. Yeah. So that means that the jiva, according to our philosophy, according to Vaishnava philosophy, the jiva never becomes Ishvara. Jiva, the part never becomes the whole. The part eternally is eternally the part. Jiva Bhuta Sanatana. So the more we clearly understand these tattvas, then we become qualified to access other Vedic knowledge. That means that there needs to be this preliminary qualification. So therefore, when Krishna and Balaram went to Gurukula, it's described in the Bhagavatam that first they learned the Vedas. They didn't immediately learn Dhanurveda. Dhanurveda came later. So in our Varnashram college here, the preliminary teachings will be, that's how Vedic knowledge is given. Preliminary knowledge is basic philosophy of Krishna consciousness, which is dealing with tattva, who we are, And that, therefore, what is very important in Vedic culture for students especially is the sadhana. Many years ago when I went to Vrindavan they had that was the beginning of Vaishnav. At that time they called it Vrindavan Institute for Higher Education. No, they call it now Vaishnav Institute. Yeah. In the beginning it was Vrindavan.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I was thinking the
Same name,
yeah,
but from Vrindavan it became Vaishnava. Yeah, because Vrindavan, of course, Vrindavan is for everyone. But so in the early days, that was in the 80s. In the 80s, it was very interesting. They had like 1 month course, and I remember I took one Sanskrit course. I was surprised at the end of 1 month I could read, I could write and read. It was just like Bengali, right?
Yeah.
It just if we do something for some time, then we
you just catch.
right. Yeah, it's a question of association. So, and I remember that you had like there was you had to write some essay, and there were different subjects that one could study. It was very nicely organized, very systematic, and the of all the courses, yeah, we also had what is called the sadhana sheet. Sadhana sheet. Every day, every student they had, okay, Mangalarti, Guru Puja, Bhagavatam class, like that. And so this sadhana sheet was the one that they gave the most points for the sadhana sheet. Means sadhana means our how we are actually disciplined in practicing Krishna consciousness is most important. So therefore, Prabhupada, he would say, first is character. That's connected with character. If only one who has good character can become actually properly disciplined. Those who have those who don't have a good character, they don't like to follow schedule. They're not strong in discipline. So discipline, this is tapasya. This is one of the 4 pillars of dharma. Satyam, daya, tapa, saucham, tapasya, being disciplined. So this is just giving a little glimpse, a little introduction to the subject matters that will be here. And so that's why Vedic knowledge is very systematically presented, and the place to learn such systematic knowledge is in Vedic educational institutions like especially Gurukula and Varnashram college. So hopefully we will have more of these institutions established for our devotees to nicely learn. Yeah. Right. So we will.
Can I have a comment?
Yes, yes, please.
I was thinking when you explained it very nicely that first verse of the third canto, that the first canto have a special, and every canto have a special function for the listener to prepare for the next level. As in a very well organized school,
Mm.
in the first year, they prepare children for the second
Mm.
year.
Yes.
If they go start with the second year, mostly they will not able to follow and not able to learn. So they have to be prepared like a good character first to keep quiet and
Yeah.
listen the
Yeah.
teacher first. Maybe they have very good intelligence, so they could understand anything,
Yes.
but if they are not disciplined,
Yeah.
they will not understand the meaning why they are learning different topics. So
Yes.
they will become a very intelligent chief or ruler or some rascal.
Yes.
But the schools not have a goal of educating, bad persons.
Right.
So the schools have very special goal educating to become a good person or a good part of the society. So here I see that this first canto and also the Dasamula Tattva is preparing for person who want to become a good soul,
Yes.
who want to become a soul, not like Hiranyakashipu. He knew everything, but he used it for destroying others
Yes.
and enjoying the matter, which he knew that it's theoretically he knew that is not the goal, but still for
Yes.
him it was the goal.
Yes.
So it's I would check, and it was very interesting. You told that somehow I don't know. I would ask why they put the higher point or higher reward for someone who is have a good sadhana. But I would check my students, if I am a teacher, if they really understand the meaning of the first part of the teaching, like why we are studying the creation. Because that could be like an interesting topic. If someone is starting Sankhya philosophy is a great topic and that has a big school for materialistic person. It's not the goal of the Sankhya to become a great scholar in the matter.
Right.
So I would check the students if they really, after 3 months or after studying this topic, they really want to avoid to merge into the material enjoyment. Of course, maybe not have not strong enough. Not they are not strong enough to do that. But their determination. Okay, I finish this material world because I see from the first topic creation that only one goal should be attain the quality of going to the spiritual world. So that would be the test if they really understood the meaning of the creation, meaning of the avatars, meaning of the first canto.
Yes.
Otherwise, I would not teach them further.
Right.
I would just say, so sorry, this school is not for you because you want it to misuse.
Actually, we were just last few days in connection with this because there's a course. Somebody's giving a course in Tirupati, not within ISKCON, but somebody who's quite expert. He's teaching archery, Dhanurveda. So we have some devotees who are connected with our curriculum for the Varnashrama College, so we were discussing a little bit. And the point being that actually in our Varnashram College, this preliminary knowledge, basic knowledge, dealing with Tattva, because when students come, we don't know so much about the students. It takes maybe 1 year to understand, yeah, what is their consciousness, and also connected with this is Vedic system, nicely explained by Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur, this was done traditionally in village, but now we're not doing it. What was done in village traditionally is that before a young boy reaches the age of 15, his varna is established. We are going to start a varna from college without knowing the varna of individual. So there's a time period between 6 months and 1 year, during the time that they learn the basic tattva, that we and during that time they will also be engaged in simple, or what we call, Prabhupada calls it menial service. Whatever, even you come from a very rich family, you have to clean the floor, or you have to pick up the cow dung, whatever. So during this 1 year period, same point you're making, we need to test and understand the actual mindset, mentality of an individual. Then accordingly, he will be given further education according to his nature, according to his inclination, like that. Yeah. So that's something that we will be introducing here. That the preliminary knowledge will be basically what we generally teach in our temples. Basic philosophy based on especially Bhagavad Gita and Srimad Bhagavatam, and then within 1 year, approximately, those who will be teaching, one of their foremost responsibility will be that, okay, within 1 year, we need to understand, we need to actually, Prabhupada was explaining like this also, we need to determine the varna, the inclination of a particular individual, and then only then give him knowledge according to his line.
I would put an extra Daivi Varna inclination, because Asuric Varna inclination also present in
Yes.
everyone. But if they keep the Asuric mentality, I would not teach them to the Varna,
Of course.
because our goal again to become a devotee who is engaged
Yes.
themselves in
Yeah.
Varnic.
Yeah, these are two levels. The first, our primary objective is to have everyone become Vaishnava devotees.
At least he wants to become.
Yeah, correct. Yes. And
he understand that's Vaishnavism or that's demonism.
right, correct. Yeah, yeah.
Materialism.
Yes, because we Vedic approach is so different from modern approach. Modern approach actually it's like totally based on tamagun, because people,
Just information.
yeah,
Any information is self information.
yeah. So that is demoniac actually, because we're putting knowledge in the wrong hands, and it becomes destructive.
That's why Krishna showed out in the Bhagavad Gita that Bhishma, Drona, they are all sinfully engaged in their
Yeah,
occupation, because Bhishma was not considering that who want to become a Vaishnava in the kingdom, in the leadership. He was just saying the kingdom I protect. And if the kingdom become demonical and he's protecting demonical kingdom,
right.
it's not. Or Drona, I accept all the Kuru, princes. But why? If the Kuru princes one are demonical, you should not teach, because it will become a big problem.
Yes.
And if he's his own son,
Asvatama.
and he was teaching his own son like most perfect
Right.
fighter, it was a big mistake.
Right.
And Krishna told, have to kill him because of that.
Yeah.
So we can understand that over the moral, over this social understanding. There is Krishna's understanding who is
Yes.
sinful and who is right.
Yes. Yes. So that means that one has to be extremely cautious in to whom to give knowledge.
Yeah. And this sadhana sheet is a kind of, at least you see how enthusiastic the person really merging himself, engaging himself in this part, which is not giving practically too much material enjoyment. I have to say,
Yeah.
I am waking up, but it's not the most
Right.
the best part of my life.
Which
And the Sharira Vijaja started. That's my best part of my life.
Which is not. Most people are materially motivated.
Yeah. We do this morning program, then have a brief prashadam. I remember we started book distribution, and in that time in Hungary, poor country, January, we eat mango, we eat pineapple, we eat so great things, full of milk products, because the book distributor was, the heroes. I was thinking, I never eat such a breakfast in any time in my life.
Right.
I was not paid badly, but I would not have money for it.
Right.